The following is a release from the People's National Party Media Unit.
I have reviewed the statement issued by Minister Delroy Chuck regarding an alleged appointment to carry out the functions of the former political ombudsman within the Electoral Commission of Jamaica. Quite frankly, I find this announcement both perplexing and troubling. To date, there has been no clear or transparent communication to Parliament or the public about who this individual is, what authority they possess, or how the investigative process is being conducted under this new arrangement. While the minister now suggests someone is in place, our understanding is that no such formal appointment had been made until very recently, if at all. What we are witnessing is yet another attempt by this administration to force a square peg into a round hole in order to suit their own political purposes. The ECJ may be receiving complaints, but no one can say with confidence what investigatory framework exists, what standards are being applied, or whether complainants, ourselves included, can expect any resolution. We have submitted evidence, including visual material regarding breaches, and yet nothing has come of it. The lack of clarity, the absence of accountability, and the disregard for due process only serve to erode public trust. Jamaica deserves better when it comes to fairness and oversight in our electoral process. We therefore call on the ECJ to immediately clarify the terms of this engagement of this so-called field officer and to publish details on how members of the public can reliably and confidently engage with this office. Justice and democracy demand no less.
Corruption is a vile disease that sucks and drains the health out of something good. Corruption in society is an evil moral infection that keeps community in the state of perpetual sickness. Corruption is a moral virus. It's so potent it leaves its host sick, lethargic, and unable to realize and accomplish all that a well person can. Where corruption thrives, poverty and not prosperity thrives. Wealth is grabbed into the greedy, grubby hands of those who get fat on the toil and labor of good people. Corruption benefits only temporarily those who participate in it. Everyone else is a victim of the theft, the deceit, the dishonesty, and the lies that corruption feeds on. You need to know that a corrupt person is stealing from you. Corruption is filthy work and despicable acts of treachery done under the table and behind closed doors. Corruption is a disgusting shame. Corruption keeps a nation back from true development and from progress. Wise investors steer clear of a corrupt environment. They would rather put their resources into a place where the playing field of opportunity is equal for all and not bent towards feeding the financial lust of corrupt, lying, cheating, thieving politicians and government officials. How many wonderful development projects have been lost because the investors didn't want to do business in a swamp of evil? When those great projects go to another nation or to some other place, we all lose. Believe me when I tell you that corruption steals from you, it steals from all of us. Corruption plunders the nation's wealth. Corrupt people compromise on truth, equity, and fairness, choosing instead to feed off the short-term benefits of crookedness, exploitation, and financial perversion. Corruption is not just a personal matter, it's a culture. It's a way of life, not just for individual people, but for companies, communities, governments, and nations. Corrupt nations, hiding behind large companies, will seek to invest in other weak nations in order to take over the assets of the nation that they've invested into. They will provide financial loans to a nation for the much needed infrastructure, and they will do it with assets that they provide. They will sign contracts by lining the pockets of rotten government officials who participate in this kind of corruption and are then held hostage by their own deceit and greed. Corruption is nothing less than a form of theft and national robbery. A corrupt person steals from everyone in society.
Wagwan family. Good morning, good morning. Oh, no good. Yes. Yesterday, I couldn't come out, people. We need a little break. So I have to take a break yesterday. However, this morning, me serious, we're going to talk about Delroy Chuck. Who is Delroy Chuck? What's Delroy Chuck dealing with? When you hear that man, I don't understand Delroy Chuck. But I know that Delroy Chuck wasn't like that when him come out, him started. It seems as if Andrew Owners have corrupt everybody. I don't know if the sugar them get off of the sugar chuck or the fat off of the gravy train. When I hear me good this morning, people. Yeah, man. Good morning. Beverly, good morning. Dan Mel, good morning. Wayne Evans, Christopher Campbell, good morning, family. Michael Napier, good morning. Sonia Saman, good morning. Alicia Wigan, good morning, family. When I hear me good, that's one thing I say I come through clean and I hear me. Little echo because when me there, I have to try and fix it up. Yeah, man. Yeah. We're there. All right, people. We'll have a discussion this morning. Now, Delroy Chuck, him say some stuff. Let me go back to what the PNP has said, because some stuff are bad. Some stuff are bad at Carlos. Who is Delroy Chuck? Man, when the time Delroy Chuck will come guy yard now. Now, this thing I start from where the PNP come out and I ask for an ombudsman way before the last election. May I talk about the local government election? Because the ombudsman time up, the Labour then decide say, them now put in another ombudsman. Right? But from what I hear what Delroy Chuck say to CVM TV is a mouthful. I'm not like you guys to hear it, people. You can't make this up. I want to hear this good. Can we go through it with this Delroy Chuck here? Listen, good people.
For the reinstatement of the Office of the Political Ombudsman, OPO, after the government transferred its functions to the Electoral Commission of Jamaica, ECJ, in 2024. However, in a CVM News exclusive, Justice Minister Delroy Chuck expressed frustration with the ECJ for allegedly not fulfilling its agreed responsibilities.
First of all, I'm a little disappointed that the ECJ has not made any pronouncement on the role that it should play for the political ombudsman, which was subsumed.
Hold on, when I hear good people, when I hear the right Chuck, all right, now I hear the right Chuck, I want to hear him, people. When I hear how much money missing gone, remember, him, I go like him not know no money, they know, I go like him not understand, I try, I hide him hand, You want when you listen to the right Chuck, Can I go read something for him, I'm going to show you the right Chuck, I want the main man behind it, Yo, you see that man? I don't know him to that brother, You see that man about listen to him, people. Now we hear how much millions of dollars missing, Them now the ombudsman, the money missing. And then right Chuck is frustrated and he's pissed because the money missing. Chuck disappointed with ECJ has called for a political ombudsman to explain some nonsense. When Chuck knows say political ombudsman can't explain this, you have to go to such man if you want any explanation. People, they want to hear this, Money gone missing again. Play back over, Carlos.
Calls have resurfaced for the reinstatement of the Office of the Political Ombudsman, OPO, after the government transferred its functions to the Electoral Commission of Jamaica, ECJ, in 2024. However, in a CVM News exclusive, Justice Minister Delroy Chuck expressed frustration with the ECJ for allegedly not fulfilling its agreed responsibilities.
First of all, I'm a little disappointed that the ECJ has not made any pronouncement on the role that it should play for the political ombudsman, which was subsumed with it. We didn't put it there just like that. We had discussions with the ECJ, and they acknowledged and accepted the rule before we passed the legislation. After we passed the legislation, I am aware that funding was provided to the ECJ to ensure that an office of a political ombudsman could function. I cannot tell you what has happened. I'm just, like everyone else, a little disappointed that nothing has happened.
Yeah.
But I have no doubt that the ECJ is not only capable, but is the most appropriate body to take on this role of good political conduct.
In 2023, the government said its decision to phase out the Office of the Political Ombudsman was partly based on projected savings of more than $30 million by assigning its
duty to the ECJ Commission. People want to listen to this, Government say it could save how much million? Government say it could save millions if you shut down the ECJ office. When you listen to people how much more it costs. Them boy have to go to prison, people. Them boy have to go to prison, Jesus.
Political ombudsman was partly based on projected savings of more than $30 million by assigning its duties to the ECJ. However, Minister Chuck has indicated that the ECJ's current budget with the Office of the Political Ombudsman subsumed has significantly increased.
46 million was provided in 23-24 to the office of the then political ombudsman. When all was used, I don't know. Last year, that is 24.
When all was used, I don't know. The right Chuck, you was one behind it, shutting it down of the ombudsman office. You was behind it too. I'm going to show no people. You see that man here? Money missing. When the money was used, him no know, acting like he's frustrated. Want to pull him hand out of the bag now?
23-24 to the office of the then political ombudsman. When all was used,
what are they?
By assigning its duties to the ECJ. However, Minister Chuck has indicated that the ECJ's current budget with the Office of the Political Ombudsman subsumed has significantly increased.
46 million was provided in 23-24 to the office of the then political ombudsman. When all was used, I don't know. Last year, that is 24-25, 60 million was provided. Now, when I examined the figures for last year, 60 million, most of it was to set up the office, and probably to pay staff. The original 46 million included rental, but in the provision for last year's 24-25, there was no provision for rental because you wouldn't need a rental. The ECJ would have offices, hopefully that they could provide space for the office.
Hold on. It's supposed to save it. Why? Getting rid of the ombudsman and pairing them with the ECJ should have saved us money. Not true, people. Them money has scrape money from with them 300% raise. Boy, them money has scrape money from everywhere. I swear to God, Jamaica can't come up under them. Because listen to the man I say, he might go like say, no, I go into the country, you know. Come here from Cliff Hughes, you know. Cliff Hughes are asking questions when he broke out the news. So Cliff Hughes say, we have an ombudsman. But we never have an ombudsman the whole time because him come out and tell us say we don't need no ombudsman. Make we listen to him.
But in the provision for last year's 24-25, there was no provision for rental because you wouldn't need a rental. The ECJ would have offices, hopefully that they could provide space for the office of a political ombudsman or director of political conduct. So 60 million was provided. Whether they use any, I don't know. Because to the best of my knowledge, that those fundings could have included promoting what would be considered good political conduct.
People wanna hear that. So the man them still act like them is like them still have an ombudsman, you know. Remember, you're not supposed to save money. Someone still a dole out like we have more than one ombudsman. Kind of like money just a dole out and a dash way. People. Remember, it was just the other day, you know. Remember, Delroy Chuck, me no know I'm to him. Delroy Chuck, me no know I'm to him, people. If a man get too old and get senile, me, nah, not no old man because me did so too. So me nah, not no old man, but what me not like is when a man knows say I get too old and I sit down in a certain type of seat where a younger person can read better and understand more clearer, faster. And if I own an old bar couldn't reach already, and just sit down in some position where some younger person forget. Me I wonder why I'm to Delroy Chuck. Now, let's read this. This is April 20. See, I'm going like him no know nothing. I'm going like him no know nothing, man. Not going back. Chuck rejects call for a return of standalone political ombudsman. Remember, sir, this is starting. And all of a sudden now, me and Cliff Hughes program. Cliff Hughes asked him question. And I tell Cliff Hughes, say, him don't even know if a male or female ombudsman. Can I refer to the ombudsman as him or her? When Cliff start digging, him look deep, him not understand, him not know nothing. It's like a brand new news. All of a sudden, I say, ombudsman there. But before that, before him go on Cliff Hughes, this is what he must say. Minister of Justice Delroy Chuck has scoffed at calls from the government to reverse its decision to subsume the office of the political ombudsman into the Electoral Commission of Jamaica. Chuck, who was the government's point man in getting the Political Ombudsman Amendment Act 2024 passed last Friday. You see me I say? So you see me I go like him no know nothing now? Him no know about no money. Him no know about nothing at all. Him no know what I go on. I mean, don't know if a male or female ombudsman member. Him I tell we also say, him not going back. That means that we no want no ombudsman. We don't have none, and we don't want none. Chuck, who was the government's point man in getting the Political Ombudsman Amendment Act 2024 passed last February, and Wednesday told the Jamaica Observer that the administration remains firm in its position that this was the right move. All the money missing and all that time, I go like, even know where money missing and money gone. Well, I don't know. I come out and I come talk, but you need answer from ECJ. Ask yourself and Andrew Honest. The ECJ is just a water boy in my book. Yeah? When we remove the independent political ombudsman and subsume it under the Electoral Commission, it was well considered by the government, and therefore there won't be any consideration of removing the political ombudsman or changing the laws that were amended last year. Chuck said, having been asked by the Observer to respond to recent calls for the Andrew Honest administration to change course. You not hear it? Say now change it. Since the role of the political ombudsman was taken over by the ECJ, Jamaicans have gone to the polls in a local government election and a number of by-elections with no word from the commission on any complaints it received or any action it initiated against those who breach the political code of conduct. We just played Miss Matla a while ago. She said that numerous complaints, even video evidence, was sent to the man who is in the ECJ where the ombudsman office is under, and them no get no answer from them, right? No response. No response from them. So the silence of the ECJ has prompted a number of individuals and entities, including some who were opposed to the move in the first place, to call on the government to reverse its decision. Among those calls for a quick reversal have been electoral watchdog Citizens Action for Free and Fair Elections, CAFE, which is in recent media release, argue that it is not too late for a change. Chairman of CAFE, Grace Boston, said her organization is concerned that the ECJ might be reticent in speaking out on issues where one political party is in violation of the code without being perceived as taking sides in a dispute between prospective candidates. So, me just show you what the government say that Delroy Chuck say, now go back. Now go back. Remember, now go back. But after that, they must say, hold on, we have an ombudsman. Hold on, we have an ombudsman the whole time. But you say, now go back. But all of a sudden, we have a standalone ombudsman, not true. We now go back. But millions of dollars spent like we have an ombudsman. Millions of dollars spent as if we have an office. I want you to understand, people. Members say, the ombudsman office is in the ECJ. That means everyone wouldn't be paying for a building. So why is it the government spending more for the ombudsman even before even when the ombudsman was there? So much money was spent for the ombudsman office, Now the ombudsman office closed and they put two offices together and it costing millions of dollars. So the PNP here, Delroy Chuck come out after him say, him not going back. We don't want a standalone ombudsman. All of a sudden, Delroy Chuck find a standalone ombudsman to rot it. People share the life. That's all they can do. Find a standalone. All of a sudden, people, millions of what? People may say money gone, Like we have an ombudsman and we are paying for office. All them people are going to jail. So this the PNP come out with.
The following is a release from the People's National Party Media Unit.
I have reviewed the statement issued by Minister Delroy Chuck regarding an alleged appointment to carry out the functions of the former political ombudsman within the Electoral Commission of Jamaica. Quite frankly, I find this announcement both perplexing and troubling. To date, there has been no clear or transparent communication to Parliament or the public about who this individual is, what authority they possess, or how the investigative process is being conducted under this new arrangement. While the minister now suggests someone is in place, our understanding is that no such formal appointment had been made until very recently, if at all. What we are witnessing is yet another attempt by this administration to force a square peg into a round hole in order to suit their own political purposes. The ECJ may be receiving complaints, but no one can say with confidence what investigatory framework exists, what standards are being applied, or whether complainants, ourselves included, can expect any resolution. We have submitted evidence, including visual material regarding breaches, and yet nothing has come of it. The lack of clarity, the absence of accountability, and the disregard for due process only serve to erode public trust. Jamaica deserves better when it comes to fairness and oversight in our electoral process. We therefore call on the ECJ to immediately clarify the terms of this engagement of this so-called field officer and to publish details on how members of the public can reliably and confidently engage with this office. Justice and democracy demand no less.
So let's get back to 2014, 2024, February 4, 2024. So an op-ed was written at the Gleaner, right, by Rudolph Brown. Delroy Chuck, Minister of Justice, addresses a sitting of the House of Representatives. So check this out, people. This is when Delroy Chuck, him do a lot of stuff, you know. Him help Andrew Ones do a lot of stuff. Helping around the Constitution by, you know, keeping his friend amending the Constitution to keep Paula Llewellyn in there. And what part stuff him do, you know? What part stuff him and this Malahu woman do? Delroy Chuck, so. He's not but Andrew Ones water boy. Delroy Chuck gone turn a stupid idiot leaving office. That's how me look on it. A man where I could say was a, you know, semi-respectable man. Delroy Chuck have become a old fart now. That's how me view him. Listen to this in 2024, what happened. So you guys can see what happened here. When them take out when them put the ombudsman office in the ECJ, Delroy Chuck was all over it. Watch this. Delroy Chuck, Minister of Justice, addresses a sitting of the House of Representatives. It is reasonable to assume that Delroy Chuck couldn't have suspended Parliament's debate on the administration's controversial plan to subsume the political ombudsman into the Electoral Commission of Jamaica, ECJ, without a signal from Prime Minister Andrew Ones. Delroy Chuck couldn't do that without Parliament. Remember I say him suspend Parliament debate and administration controversial plan to subsume the Electoral Ombudsman into the Electoral Commission of Jamaica without a signal from it. He couldn't do it without the Prime Minister's blessing. And it is unlikely that the PM would have done that rather than using his government's big majority to ram the bill through Parliament, run it for the intervention of the tough and feisty. Listen to this, you know. Jamaica Labour Party run it for the intervention of the tough and feisty Jamaica Labour Party JLP stalwart Karl Samuda, who, though now a backbencher, still wields substantial influence in his party. Mr. Samuda warned his colleagues against tinkering with the ECJ. Karl Samuda warned them. Karl Samuda warned them. Delroy Chuck told a piece of crap now. Karl Samuda warned them. You remember that? Karl Samuda warned them I don't mess around the ECJ. Delroy Chuck are going like even know about the money no one all. Delroy Chuck fingerprint is all over this nonsense, yeah. I'm going to show you what I want, man. But whatever was the catalyst for Mr. Chuck's action, good sense prevailed. The government, you hear? Whatever was the catalyst for Mr. Chuck's action. Mr. Chuck is behind this. Now look at all man here. Now I'm going like him never know, say, and him not hear about, and him not know why I go on, and when the money could have, yo, the whole I forgot, jail, come to think about it. But whatever was the catalyst for Mr. Chuck's action, good sense prevailed. The government should keep it that way, which is in the circumstance would mean notwithstanding any bad advice to the contrary, abandoning the enterprise of saddling the ECJ with the ombudsman's job. The government should also go further. At Tuesday's sitting of the House, Prime Minister Onus should cause to be announced the appointment of an interim or acting political ombudsman to fill an office that has been vacant for 14 months. Remember, nobody not in the office. 14 months empty for. Since the 7-year term of the former ombudsman, Dana Parchment-Brown, expired in November 2022, or, as this newspaper has suggested, the Governor General Sir Patrick Allen should be called upon by interested parties to test his powers in the matter by appointing an ombudsman after consultation with the Prime Minister and the leader of the opposition in accordance with the letter of the law. The acting ombudsman would have the same powers as were enjoyed by Ms. Parchment-Brown under the existing act until after the February 26 municipal elections. Afterwards, with parliamentarians free to focus on their legislative functions, the administration would then bring interim amendments to the Political Ombudsman Act, incorporating any powers it intended the office to have as an adjunct of the ECJ. Agreed amendments would remain in place until after the next general election, constitutionally due in 18 months, September 25, after which the new parliament would consider a major reshaping of the office of the political ombudsman. The political ombudsman is one of the important institutions bequeathed by Jamaica's turbulent politics of the 1970s and 80s, when election campaigns were often violent. The ombudsman role was to be an arbiter of good political behavior, so as to lessen the possibility of provocations turning to violence. The office's guide is a code of conduct agreed to by political parties. The law gives the ombudsman semi-judicial authority in conducting investigations, whether they are on his own initiative or on the basis of complaints. It, however, provides no power to sanction. The ombudsman recommends actions. This, however, doesn't make the office wholly ineffective, as its critics have claimed. The ombudsman's ability to call out offenders and to do so loudly, the capacity to name and shame, gives the office important leverage as well as moral authority. So it's them politicians don't want to be held accountable. They don't want the name call out. Get rid of the IC, the AG, get rid of the ombudsman office. Just look, people, anything to hold this administration accountable got to go. However, once Ms. Parchment-Brown's time ended, the government made clear its disinclination to have the post filled. It floated the idea of turning the ombudsman function over to the ECJ, the body that deals with technical and related issues of managing elections. But how the new arrangement would work was never clearly articulated, and the law to give effect to the scheme was tabled in Parliament only last Tuesday, 2 days before the announcement of the date of the municipal elections. Jamaica people, wanna find something wrong with that? 2 days before the election announcement of election. 2 days. Me say, hey, sometimes I want to beat the PNP, you know. Cause now the PNP no ball out loud enough. When they want to think PNP should have ball out. They go do all thing and the PNP just sit down so and take it. Without grease. Them go do that to Una PNP, them ball out loud, you know. They no ball out loud. But how the new arrangement would work was never clearly articulated, and the law to give effect to the scheme was tabled in Parliament only last Tuesday, 2 days before the announcement of the date of the municipal election. We say, if this is not shady, we don't know what else is. It was expected that the bill would be taken through all its stages in a single afternoon without the public knowing what was proposed in the legislation. Opposition MPs claim to have only had sight of the bill just before its tabling. Whatever may have been contemplated by the government critics, including the island's leading private sector group, mainstream churches and election monitors and human rights organization, insists that it starts with a fundamental flaw. giving the ECJ the job of the political ombudsman. In January, the private sector organization of Jamaica repeated earlier calls for the government to reinstate the political ombudsman equipped with the authority to implement disciplinary measures against actions that contradict the political code of conduct. Wow. In making a similar call, the Jamaica Council of Churches, which these are from 2014 now, people. In making a similar call, the Jamaica Council of Churches, which groups non-evangelicals, warn that attaching the ombudsman to the ECJ risk reintroducing concerns and confrontations of partisan nature and detracted from the distinctly apolitical and neutral work of the ECJ. The election monitors Citizens Action for Free and Fair Elections Cafe argued that it wouldn't be prudent to submit to the Electoral Commission of Jamaica the ethical questions which are normally dealt with by political ombudsman. Mr. Samuda, the JLP stalwart, who was his party's representative on the ECJ, it has a majority of independent members for over a decade, struck a similar note on Tuesday, describing the ECJ to be among the most, this is what Carl Samuda is saying. He describing the ECJ to be among the most, the man, big up the ECJ and people. That's why he never agree with him party to mash it up. Describing the ECJ to be among the most far-reaching and of the most important institutions in Jamaica and the Western Hemisphere. Mr. Samuda said, it is not an institution that can take tinkering. Because Samuda and Andrew Unes, they're right, that them man. Because Samuda, well, you know the money there, I don't know this, I don't know that. Because Samuda is a very corrupt man. Corrupt. Very corrupt Justice Minister. Describing the ECJ, this is Carl Samuda, to be among the most far-reaching and the most important institutions in Jamaica and the Western Hemisphere. Mr. Samuda said, it is not an institution that can take tinkering. I do not buy the idea that we are in a hurry because we are having an election, he added. Mechanism can be found with creative minds and well-thinking people where we can solve the problem without tampering with what we have achieved. Carl Samuda said that, you know. Mr. Samuda is right, which is why an acting ombudsman should be appointed as a matter of urgency. After the general election, with a new parliament in place, a fundamental restructuring of the political ombudsman would be appropriate as part of a broader constitutional reform project. For instance, the post of political ombudsman should evolve to being a commissioner for parliamentary and political conduct, CPPC, whose job would include investigating on behalf of Parliament's privileges committee serious complaints of misconduct against legislators. These would include those complaints that, after requisite trials, might lead to removal or recall from Parliament. We have to read that part so we can understand what is going on in 2024. Carl Samuda, stand up. Remember, never drag back on the memory, you know. Carl Samuda, stand up. Stand up against what him see. I got happen, you know. Carl Samuda saw this coming. Carl Samuda saw this coming. And money missing later now. And now they right fuck. Sorry, they right chuck. I go like, you know the money missing gone. Want to listen, you know, again, you know, before we move on to the other videos, you know, I'm going to show you who is the right chuck. Listen.
Calls have resurfaced for the reinstatement of the Office of the Political Ombudsman, OPO, after the government transferred its functions to the Electoral Commission of Jamaica, ECJ, in 2024. However, in a CVM News exclusive, Justice Minister Delroy Chuck expressed frustration with the ECJ for allegedly not fulfilling its agreed responsibilities.
First of all, I'm a little disappointed that the ECJ has not made any pronouncement on the...
Remember, you know, he the right man and the right-hand man in the whole of this, you know. He is disappointed in the ECJ and in the answer from the ECJ. You know, so you and such man run things. ECJ man is just there to stamp and sign his name. Nothing else. This is what I believe. I believe the finance minister, ECJ, is controlled by the prime minister. Then people just dead there, just to sign a name, just to warm the bench and open the door and turn the lights on. Let's listen what Delroy Chuck claim him no know when him and the main man behind it.
That it should play in for the political ombudsman, which was subsumed with it. We didn't put it there just like that. We had discussions with the ECJ, and they acknowledged and accepted the role before we passed the legislation. After we passed the legislation, I am aware that funding was provided to the ECJ to ensure that an office of a political ombudsman could function.
Listen.
I cannot tell you what has happened. I'm just, like everyone else, a little disappointed that nothing has happened. But I have no doubt that the ECJ is not only capable, but is the most appropriate body to take on this role of good political conduct.
In 2023, the government said its decision to phase out the office of the political ombudsman was partly based on projected savings of more than $30 million by assigning its duties to the ECJ. However, Minister Chuck...
People, we're supposed to save $30 million by assigning its duty to Mr. Glasspool Brown. Instead, the cost, money gone up, and then right Chuck said no nothing about it. Justice Minister don't know him do did the man Cliff Hughes, and him don't know if Justice Minister if the ombudsman a man or woman. Him don't know nothing, people. I don't know if he's sober, if I'm always drunk or high, or something is wrong cognitive. Me don't know how I want people. But the right Chuck don't know a lot. Don't know a lot.
Indicated that the ECJ's current budget with the Office of the Political Ombudsman subsumed has significantly increased.
46 million was provided in 23-24 to the Office of the then Political Ombudsman. When it all was used, I don't know. Last year, that is 24-25, 60 million was provided. Now, when I examine
$60 million, remember we're supposed to save 30 million, you know. It go 40 million now, we are about 60 million, and you don't know any money there. Mr. Them people are leech from the country to yo, which part of Jamaica them are about? Which part, which ministry took a spot, which agency now get sucked out and got out? Jesus.
Because for last year, 60 million, most of it was to set up the office and probably to pay staff. The original 46 million included rental, but in the provision for last year's 24-25, there was no provision for rental because you wouldn't need a rental. The ECJ would have offices, hopefully that they could provide space for the office of a political ombudsman or director of political conduct.
Shut up, man. How you going to create a space when the whole idea was to save money to put both in one space? Yeah. Hey? Me understand his explanation here now. How is it you're going to save space when the whole reason for putting them together is to save money so you don't have to rent an extra space, so you just put both of them in one office? And what are some people?
The office of a political ombudsman or director of political conduct. So 60 million was provided. Whether they use any, I don't know. Because to the best of my knowledge, that those fundings could have included promoting what would be considered good political conduct.
What are they? What not so fast, old man. Not so fast. No, sir. Not so fast, Mr. Delroy Charlie Delroy Chuck. Not so fast. No, sir. People know the man and say, remember, he don't know nothing. Me don't know nothing. Me never did. But the money, we're supposed to save money. Hold on, before we move on, we have to listen to that part. Because them take the Jamaica people with real ass, you know. People must them take a for idiot. People, me say them take for idiot, real kunomono. Them take Jamaica people for idiot. We not no sense. We are real old kunomono. The man I say, he don't know where the money there. $46 million. Then the next $60 million. When we supposed to save money. We play it one more time to box and make everybody hear. Can't hide this shit.
To the Electoral Commission of
Here, one more time.
in 2024. However, in a CVM News exclusive, Justice Minister Delroy Chuck expressed frustration with the ECJ for allegedly not fulfilling its agreed responsibility.
Why you frustrated with the ECJ for? ECJ no control itself. Everybody knows that such man have hand everywhere. Look on the man that will control certain spot if I know some saffers. The Minister of National Security, the Minister of Finance. That's the the man that will put a certain strategic position. How do you think run them the song? They must have a name.
First of all, I'm a little disappointed that the ECJ has not made any pronouncement on the role that it should play for the political ombudsman, which was subsumed with it. We didn't put it there just like that. We had discussions with the ECJ, and they acknowledged and accepted the role before we passed the legislation. After we passed the legislation, I am aware that funding was provided to the ECJ to ensure that an office of political ombudsman could function. I cannot tell you what has happened. I'm just...
Him can't tell you no one to the money. People, me say him are the main man behind it. Him are the Justice Minister. And him are the one with tinker with the Constitution. Him are the one with tinker with it. Mr. Samuda tell us say, do not tinker with the ombudsman. Hey, money missing now.
Everyone is a little disappointed that nothing has happened. But I have no doubt that the ECJ is not only capable, but is the most appropriate body to take on this role of good political conduct.
In 2023, the government said its decision to phase out the Office of the Political Ombudsman was partly based on projected savings of more than $30 million by assigning its duties to the ECJ.
Hear that?
However, Minister Chuck has indicated that the ECJ's current budget with the Office of the Political Ombudsman subsumed has significantly increased.
46 million was provided in 23-24. To the office of the then political ombudsman. When it all was used, I don't know. Last year, that is 24-25, 60 million was provided. Now, when I examined the figures for last year, 60 million, most of it was to set up the office and probably to pay staff. The original 46 million included rental. But in the provision for last year's 24-25, there was no provision for rental because you wouldn't need a rental. The ECJ would have offices, hopefully that they could provide space for the office of a political ombudsman or director of political conduct. So 60 million was provided. Whether they use any, I don't know. Because to the best of my knowledge, that those fundings could have included promoting what would be considered good political conduct.
Okay, you are Justice Minister. What are you going to do about it? When the money misses, you don't know. You are freaking Justice Minister. What are you going to do about it? Well, let me tell you something. Delroy Chuck is here. Is standing in the way of good justice for men, women, and children. Delroy Chuck is standing in the way of good justice. Delroy Chuck, how him think his way of thinking is blocking even the sex offenders registry list, sexual predator registry list to be public. Did they know, guys? Some of you never know. I'm going to tell you now, who is Delroy Chuck? Do you know this man? Do you know this man? Let me show you, man. Warm up on the brain. Who is this Delroy Chuck? Since you don't know him and who. Let's listen to right, Chuck.
Just my point in the sense that I don't think we can put a time frame on, and we could be re-victimizing the person all over again.
We're 30 years later.
Yes.
You talk about I was arrested in the
Yes.
elevator.
Yes.
No, if you don't complain within 12 months, please, cut it off.
Justice Minister Delroy Chuck gave a scenario to explain the need for a time limit.
But look at Mr. Chuck. When he used to teach him, he used to make pass at me. I wouldn't even remember.
Yeah, but
I did.
Yeah, but Minister Chuck, that is the person's accusation. If they had a record, of
20
that,
years ago.
yeah, but if they had a record of it or is able to provide evidence. But this is just my point in the sense that I don't think we can put a time frame on, and we could be re-victimizing the person all over again.
I want to hear the Justice Minister. At 12 months, he might give female to come report any sexual misconduct by any man. Because him no want to see me years down the road and say, hey, him harass me. Then right, Chuck, Justice Minister, tell me victims, are you safe under this man? Listen to him.
They're really at opposite end. The woman who wants to be secure and the man who wants to be adventurous, and to take advantage of a woman. So it is a difficult relationship.
Where's the laughing? Where's the joke? A man who want to be adventurous and take advantage of the woman. Where's the joke in that, people? A Justice Minister, this, Never shown, so this a Justice Minister so like he's a criminal mind, him have, He so like the Justice Minister have a criminal mind. I saw me look on it on this platform. Listen to the Justice Minister again, no man.
They're really at opposite end. The woman who wants to be secure and the man who wants to be adventurous, and to take advantage of a woman. So it is a difficult relationship.
People tell me this man, and it never showed it today, So the man sound like he's a man with a criminal mind. The whole time me document him, people.
Just my point in the sense that I don't think we can put a time frame on, and we could be re-victimizing the person all over again.
We're 30 years later.
Yes.
You talk about I was arrested in the elevator.
Yes.
No, if you don't complain within 12 months, please, cut it off.
Justice Minister Delroy Chuck gave a scenario to explain the need for a time limit.
But look at Mr. Chuck. When he used to teach him, he used to make pass at me. I wouldn't even remember.
Yeah, but
I did.
Yeah, but Minister Chuck, that is the person's accusation. If they had a record, of
20 years ago.
Yeah, but if they had a record of it or is able to provide evidence. But this is just my point in the sense that I don't think we can put a time frame on, and we could be re-victimizing the person all over again.
And this way matter, this is when I think about a man who grape a woman or sexual assault a woman. This is how I look upon it.
They're really at opposite end. The woman who wants to be secure and the man who wants to be adventurous, and to take advantage of a woman. So it is a difficult relationship.
Ladies, do you find joke, gentlemen? Do you find joke into a man who want to take advantage of a woman, but you want to feel adventurous? You want to feel adventurous when a woman say no and stop and take what I'm giving to you? This is our Justice Minister. And listen him come out and come apologize, people. I'm going to listen today and I'm going to show you what I'm going on.
Last week, while making a contribution at the Joint Select Committee on Sexual Harassment, I made an inappropriate statement regarding the time period for making complaints. I deeply regret what, upon reflection, was insensitive behavior on my part, and I unreservedly and sincerely apologize. I am personally concerned and troubled by the level of harassment and torment women have had to endure and continue to endure. This harassment is pervasive and makes it more of an imperative for the passage of the Sexual Harassment Bill, which deals solely with civil protection of persons in employment and institutional settings. I acknowledge and sympathize with the hurt and the trauma experienced by persons who are victims of harassment or any other form of sexual abuse. I commit and assure everyone who has been concerned by my utterance that my conduct in committee meetings and otherwise will reflect the fact that I do not seek to diminish the importance of this issue. I always advocate for women to be treated with dignity and respect, and I believe in a society where women are never objectified or exploited. My comments last week did not convey this personal and professional truth, and for that I'm also deeply sorry. I ask for the public's forgiveness and commit to championing the cause and concerns of our women and to be an ally and an advocate representing fully and fairly the women of Jamaica.
Me not forgive you. I may ask the female them if them forgive him. Me not forgive him. Me not forgive him for that. You're a big old rusty man. You shouldn't have come out and you're supposed to be justice minister. People, let me show us that justice now come for you. People is a pattern with this man. Pedophiles and all the predators feel safe having a Delroy Chuck as a justice minister. I said predators love this justice minister. I said predators, pedophiles, the one of them must love this justice minister or this injustice minister. It means everything that is bad when it comes to the woman, them people. Listen. Hold on.
This scrutiny. So in other words, what is the wrong in allowing only prescribed persons such as the police, probation officers, and others to know that this person has left, a certain sentence for a sex offense? Now, it may well be that.
Hold on. Come on to the hear it good enough. There's a too much bass in that, so never try to never wait for to hear it. You can hear the man say, people, this is a question that come out of to make sexual predators, sexual registry lists made public. Ladies, this a man standing at the way of who no get justice or have to make the nation safer. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your, me I'll show you the type of mindset of the justice minister. I'll never show you why I said that. Criminals like pedophiles and predators must be happy having a justice minister with a type of mindset like this brother here. So listen.
In other words, what would be wrong in allowing only prescribed persons such as the police, probation officers, and others to know that this person has left, has served a sentence for a sex offense? Now, it may well be that if in a democracy, people feel that if you have committed a particular offense, you should suffer the scrutiny for the rest of your life.
I wonder what you the man say. Him say him not think predators should suffer the scrutiny for the rest of their life. I saw him believe in the society. He said there's nothing wrong. He said what would be wrong by us making law enforcement and those who supposed to know. Yeah, you understand, like probation officer know about like the raper live around there, so next door to the school. He believes that them should have know, and it must be held from the public. And when you listen to people, me see this man here, this administration is a very criminal-minded administration to me. Everything about it is criminal, people. That's what I think.
In other words, what would be wrong in allowing only prescribed persons such as the police, probation officers, and others to know that this person has left, has served a sentence for a sex offense? Now, it may well be that if in a democracy, people feel that if you have committed a particular offense, you should suffer the scrutiny for the rest of your life.
Well, society think you should suffer the scrutiny for your rest of your life. I don't believe that's how him feel. He no feel say you must suffer the scrutiny for your rest of your life. Listen to this.
If a person having been convicted of a sexual offense and has been given a fixed term and has served it and is now back in the community, would it not be a second sentence if the public at large could say that's a sex offender?
Him say, if it wouldn't be a second sentence, if the public at large could say that's a sex offender. Look here, make this up a clot. Delroy Chuck believe if the public should know about the sex offender living among us, it would be a second sentence. Ladies and gentlemen, there's nothing good coming out of this man as justice minister. Nothing, people. I want to listen, the mindset.
Having been convicted of a sexual offense and has been given a fixed term and has served it and is now back in the community, would it not be a second sentence if the public at large could say that's a sex offender?
No, man. No, man.
If a person having been convicted of a sexual offense and has been given a fixed term and has served it and is now back in the community, would it not be a second sentence if the public at large could say that's a sex offender?
You understand? You understand the right check out? You understand him who, people? You understand him who? And none man go like him don't know when the money there. None man go like him don't know the money there. Me say, no sex offenders list now come out of this administration now. It seems as if we have some pedophile in our government, people. For a man who is a big man, you're a justice minister, and you know see the need for the release. It seems as if we have some pedophile in our government where we cover up.
If a person having been convicted of a sexual offense and has been given a fixed term and has served it and is now back in the community, would it not be a second sentence if the public at large could say that's a sex offender?
People are here, a justice minister this. So me I wonder if the justice minister name would have show up on the list too, if it made public. Me I ask all the time, you know, would the justice minister name pop up on the sexual registry list? Because you can't be a freaking a real man and a father and a man where protect the nation and have problems with predators name spread out. I don't have no problem with the name publishing, the list publishing, because me know owner not gonna find me name on it. But listen to the justice minister again, no man.
If a person having been convicted of a sexual offense and has been given a fixed term and has served it and is now back in the community, would it not be a second sentence if the public at large could say that's a sex offender?
So they hear. Wanna hear? Let's play the next one again.
So in other words, what would be wrong in allowing only prescribed persons such as the police, probation officers, and others to know that this person has has served a sentence for a sex offense? Now, it may well be that if you're in a democracy, people feel that if you have committed a particular offense, you should suffer the scrutiny for the rest of your life.
Then you know why him think this way.
Just my point, in the sense that I don't think we can put a time frame on, and we could be re-victimizing the person all over again.
We're 30 years later.
Yes.
You talk about I was arrested in the elevator.
Yes.
No, if you don't complain within 12 months, please, cut it off.
Justice Minister Delroy Chuck gave a scenario to explain the need for a time limit.
But look at Mr. Chuck. When he used to teach him, he used to make pass at me. I wouldn't even remember.
Yeah, but
I did.
Yeah, but Minister Chuck, that is the person's accusation. If they had a record, of that,
years ago.
Yeah, but if they had a record of it or is able to provide evidence. But this is just my point, in the sense that I don't think we can put a time frame on, and we could be re-victimizing the person all over again.
Me not hear no respect for females and victims.
They're really at opposite end. The woman who wants to be secure, and the man who wants to be adventurous, and to take advantage of a woman. So it is a difficult relationship.
You hear that? I laugh about a man who wants to take advantage of a woman. You see you? I am Justice Minister. You see you? That's why I'm not into your look apology. Take your apology and shove it.
Last week, while making a contribution at the Joint Select Committee on Sexual Harassment, I made an inappropriate statement regarding the time period for making complaints. I deeply regret what, upon reflection, was insensitive behavior on my part, and I unreservedly and sincerely apologize. I am personally concerned and troubled by the level of harassment and torment women have had to endure and continue to endure. This harassment is pervasive and makes it more of an imperative for the passage of the Sexual Harassment Bill, which deals solely with civil protection of persons in employment and institutional settings. I acknowledge and sympathize with the hurt and the trauma experienced by persons who are victims of harassment or any other form of sexual abuse. I commit and assure everyone who has been concerned by my utterance that my conduct in committee meetings and otherwise will reflect the fact that I do not seek to diminish the importance of this issue. I always advocate for women to be treated with dignity and respect, and I believe in a society where women are never objectified or exploited. My comments last week did not convey this personal and professional truth, and for that I'm also deeply sorry. I ask for the public's forgiveness and commit to championing the cause and concerns of our women and to be an ally and an advocate representing fully and fairly the women of Jamaica.
People, when I feel over there, when I accept my apology, who is Delroy Chuck? You think I know Delroy Chuck? Remember, you know? Remember when Royal Reid get locked up, arrested for the skullduggery? Delroy Chuck put him out there. Take up for Royal Reid. He never believed this and he never believed that. Listen him come out like him and make a semi-apology again.
Yesterday, in relation to the arrest of Royal Reid, Fritz Pinnock, and others, was inspired by the fact that the media was present at all locations during this early morning raid. My daughter, who is one of the attorneys in the case, she and I lead separate, independent, professional lives. However, as Justice Minister, my comments were inappropriate and I duly withdraw them in their entirety.
So that was the Royal Reid situation. May I play that again?
Yesterday, in relation to the arrest of Royal Reid, Fritz Pinnock, and others, was inspired by the fact that the media was present at all locations during this early morning raid. My daughter, who is one of the attorneys in the case, she and I lead separate, independent, professional lives. However, as Justice Minister, my comments were inappropriate and I duly withdraw them in their entirety.
Another apology again, you know, because it was said that him daughter, him and the Justice Minister, and him daughter represent Royal Reid. So you see the connection and the whole sounding of corruption, people. When they hear what I go on, then they come out, they go put him out in a hit people. And have to come out and apologize again. They think I know the man is corrupt. Listen to the corruption again at John Sharp.
Over the past few days, Mr. Chuck, Jamaicans for Justice, the Advocates Network, constitutional expert Dr. Lloyd Barnett, National Integrity Action, the Private Sector Organization of Jamaica, and the Jamaican Bar Association have all expressed concerns about the way the constitutional amendment was passed without notice, without consultation. In light of all these concerns coming from a range of groups, including people who are experts in legal issues and constitutional issues and governance issues, is the government still insisting it was right?
Absolutely, Dion. Truth of the matter is that the recommendation to increase the ages of the DPP and the Auditor General from 60 to 65 was made from 2016, when the Pension Act was being before me at Legislation Committee. The point is that there are two posts, the DPP and the Auditor General, whose age of retirement could not be increased without a constitutional amendment. From then, we recognize that the constitutional amendment had to be done. It's a bit late, but it's better late than never. And this bill that was passed in the House and the Senate really give effect to that recommendation. Now, the question is that it's a very simple amendment, as I said in Parliament, and it has 3 set clauses. And the clause 1 is merely citing the Act. Clause 2 and 3 simply raise the age from 60 to 65 for both the DPP and the Auditor General. It's not a complicated bill. Clause 49 of the Constitution allows us to do so. The point is that it is a policy decision which came from the last administration.
Two issues following on what you just said, Minister. JAMBAR, the Jamaican Bar Association, said in its statement, quote, to describe the amendment as simple, as was done by the Justice Minister, is reflective of the scant regard for the weighty matters that arise from the amendments in question and a parliamentary majority which guarantees a planned outcome regardless on the undesirability and potential unconstitutionality of the process. Those are strong words from JAMBAR, and even with that, that gives the government no pause.
Well, I'm disappointed that JAMBAR could even say so, because there's nothing we have done which is not in accordance with the Constitution.
This man, people by the middle in the middle of the night, him and such man go fondle the Constitution, they molest the Constitution to keep DPP there. Me I tell you, this man is up to his throat in a corruption. Look on this here. What is the Justice Minister doing? Look on it good. What is our Justice Minister doing, people? Look at it. Me say I give a chicken no. What is the Justice Minister doing? Is he buying vote? Tell him man to turn around to the camera. Give a man one look of bread, you know. Put the old man. Turn him around to the camera. It have to go up on the page. It's for politics. You have to take picture. I give man one bread. One bread, you know. What the Justice Minister is doing. This is our Justice Minister. That is Jamaica Justice Minister. Buying vote out there, giving away bread. Car load of bread. See there? So what them do? Go on bakery, go buy out the bread. See there? Probably somebody will sell bread in a car. I know say, you know what? I'll pay for all the bread today. Just come around and give her the bread and we're going to do it pan camera. Look, people, one bread I give it. The pan camera. See, turn around the man there. No, man, you can't get them. We're not going to let go the bread, papi. We know you want the bread, but we're not going to let go the bread until you turn around. Look, man, look on the game, daddy. Now read the game. Read the game, daddy. Look. Hold on. I want money in giving that hand, the right hand. The right hand. See there? Look on the right hand. Read the right hand, people. Read the right hand. See right hand there? Look on the hand of the man have a plastic bag. Look, read the right hand. Why you giving that right hand? See there? Look, we don't see. I know that alone. I've bread and something else, people. Look on the hand move. Read the hand, people. Read the hand, me say, read the hand. No, read the hand. Read the hand. Hey. Turn on, man. You can't just get everything, so no. Let me take a picture out of it, man. Justice Minister did say. Read him again. Read the hand. All right. Now watch your face, just watch your hand. Now watch your mouth. Watch your hand. Justice Minister, what Justice Minister get caught on camera doing? Justice Minister, you know. Anyway, I'll show you how the Justice Minister corrupt-minded. The Justice Minister mind to me is like a criminal. That's how I believe. Our Justice Minister have a criminal mind. I'll wait until you hear the next clip I'm about to play for you. And let's hear what Mr. Panton have to say.
Chairman of the Integrity Commission, retired Justice Seymour Panton, has scolded Justice Minister Delroy Chuck for advising parliamentarians to ignore the law requiring public officials to furnish information about their spouse's earnings to the anti-corruption body. Panton said for Chuck to advise his colleagues to break the law may well be itself an offence, adding that in some countries, the Justice Minister would have been removed from office after such an admission.
People who like when I read, as some people are reading hand. Read the hand, people. Read the hand again. As some people are reading hand. Me just go to the comment section. No idiot, you know. Now read the hand. Read the movements. What? Look for the hand, people. We're not idiot. Read the hand again. Justice Minister caught. What the Justice Minister caught? Camera doing? Justice Minister busted. What? No, sir. That's a Justice Minister. What you can get out of him? I believe the Justice Minister mind is corrupt. And I believe our Justice Minister have a criminal mind. Check this out.
The calls following this comment at this week's sitting of the Integrity Commission Oversight Committee.
Why is the Integrity Commission asking members to indicate the salaries of their spouse? I mean, or sometimes of their children. I don't know if this is something that is appropriate, Chairman, because I have advised the relevant member, let them know your spouse is not prepared to divulge their salary.
The opposition has since called for his immediate resignation. In a statement Thursday, opposition spokesperson on justice Donna Scott Motley described Mr. Chuck's comments as an open assault on Jamaica's legal and ethical foundations. Senator Motley says the seeming justification of his statements based on the reluctance of spouses is indicative of a greater lack of understanding of the law. But speaking on Radio Jamaica's hotline on Thursday, Mr. Chuck sought to defend his position.
With due respect, Emily, if you don't know the assets, liabilities, and salaries of your spouse, you can't declare them.
I agree with you, but pause. Yes. Let's go back a little bit. Do you agree that in the first couple sentences of your question to the chairman,
yes,
you were giving the impression that the Integrity Commission was asking for information it had no right to ask for?
No. Well, and if that was the impression that was given, that was wrong. I'm saying that, we need to correct that.
According to Section 40 of the Integrity Commission Act, public officials are required to declare their income, assets, and liabilities. It also requires the official to declare all sources of income, which includes their spouse and children. On Wednesday, the Integrity Commission labeled Mr. Chuck's comments as ignorant.
You cannot declare what you don't know.
But do you understand that public officials have a duty to make spouses understand the level of public accountability that comes with the job of being a public official?
With due respect, I don't think it is, and that is why I'm saying it is quite inappropriate. There are other persons working in government who take objection to it too, because they feel, because they're working as a public official, be it a permanent secretary, or just anyone earning over, at one time, 3 million, now I think we put it to 12 million, that they should be declaring everything that their spouse owns, their assets, liabilities, and salaries. I'm not too sure that is the intention of the act.
That's a clear wording of the law, Mr. Chuck.
People, that's our Justice Minister, I saw him think about the law. Till Mr. Panton, I think he must right hand cross in face verbally before he left.
Chairman of the Integrity Commission, retired Justice Seymour Panton, has scolded Justice Minister Delroy Chuck for advising parliamentarians to ignore the law requiring public officials to furnish information about their spouse's earnings to the anti-corruption body. Panton said for Chuck to advise his colleagues to break the law may well be itself an offence, adding that in some countries, the Justice Minister would have been removed from office after such an admission.
So people, now to get a clear understanding of Delroy Chuck, me still ask, who is Delroy Chuck? Because this is come like a lawmaker, this is not a justice minister. This is like a man with us in an office, a block and a push and be a water boy for Andrew Honest and get involved in the most criminal set of schemes in our government. Remember the man no want the sexual predator list, the man no feel say sexual predator name must have plastered nowhere. The man of feel say, when a man come out of prison, his name should be called anywhere again. Can you imagine, people? This a man and have kids. The man of feel say, only 6 months, people, the man, me say, females are young people not feel good, not safe under this man. No, sir.
Just my point, in the sense that I don't think we can put a time frame on, and we could be re-victimizing the person all over again.
We're 30 years later.
Yes.
You talk about I was arrested in the elevator.
Yes.
No. If you don't complain within 12 months, please, cut it off.
Justice Minister Delroy Chuck gave a scenario to explain the need for a time limit.
But look at Mr. Chuck. When he used to teach him, he used to make pass at me. I would even remember.
Yeah, but
if I did.
Yeah, but Minister Chuck, that is the person's accusation. If they had a record, if they had record of
20
that,
odd years ago.
yeah, but if they had a record of it or is able to provide evidence, but this is just my point in the sense that I don't think we can put a time frame on, and we could be re-victimizing the person all over again.
They're really at opposite end. The woman who wants to be secure, and the man who wants to be adventurous, and to take advantage of a woman. So it is a difficult relationship. They're really at opposite.
So to understand the right Chuck. So based on what I'm saying right there, so people, when you hear me say, you hear me say loud and clear, man. 12 months if I go if you come out, come say something. So you look at 80-year-old will get molested and she have 50 right now and she still not feel to come out yet. You know what big woman right now we get molested when they're young and them still not get the courage and the strength to come out yet. Some of them will never come out. Some of them will die with it in them. And if you see this man, they laugh about it.
They're really at opposite end. The woman who wants to be secure, and the man who wants to be adventurous, and to take advantage of a woman. So it is a difficult relationship.
And the man really, what the man has said right there, so, is just pedophiles love that. Sexual predator love that. Him sound like him in a parliament in defense of pedophiles. Listen what predator love again.
Having been convicted of a sexual offense and has been given a term and has served it and is now back in the community, would it not be a second sentence if the public at large could be saying that's a sex offender?
Him say is a second sentence if predator's name are made public on sexual predator registry list. Him say a second sentence. Predators love him.
So in other words, what would be wrong in allowing only prescribed persons such as the police, probation officers, and others to know that this person has has served a sentence for a sex offense? Now, it may well be that if you're in a democracy, people feel that if you have committed a particular offense, you should suffer the scrutiny for the rest of your life.
I believe Delroy Chuck is a very corrupt justice minister. I believe Delroy Chuck is a very corrupt old man, and it's disappointing. It's very disappointing that only men were in our government all these decades, under the bright light of social media have turned to be an old fart. No, now come for the woman them from him, people. Ladies, who could have ball, you don't care ball no more. I just the other day I read that the paper, them say, oh, sexual crime is on the rise in Jamaica. I know the court has seen more rape and all them thing there. And this man did not see the need because he believes say a man will get sentenced twice if a name be made public on the sexual registry list. So Mr. Chuck, we are trying to please a pedophile or a victim, and we are work for. Who benefit here? When you don't put the sexual predator name out there, and not the victim. People want to understand who is Delroy Chuck. I hope to get a clearer understanding of this man. Do you think this man should be in office, people? Do you think this man should be in office today? What do you guys think about this man? What do you guys think about this man, ladies? Anybody want me? May I take a few calls? Long time I talk to someone. I don't have much long to stay here. I know say still there road. But if you want to call and tell me what you think about this brother based on what you hear a while ago. Right? Who is Delroy Chuck? And then you hear the PNP come out because him go say again, but we got ombudsman and me not understand. This man does in there, him and Andrew Holness a push and pull, a write and a rub out and a sign. We don't know what going on with Delroy Chuck, If you know I become Andrew Holness, water boy, or just an old fart. If Delroy Chuck does turn an old fart, I could never call Delroy Chuck them name here first time. Me want if Delroy Chuck does turn an old fart in the era of social media. What's wrong with this man? No, all of a sudden we have an ombudsman. Millions of dollars gone where he don't know. Him don't know the money there. That's why the PNP come out and ask question there, right?
The following is a release from the People's National Party Media Unit.
I have reviewed the statement issued by Minister Delroy Chuck regarding an alleged appointment to carry out the functions of the former political ombudsman within the Electoral Commission of Jamaica. Quite frankly, I find this announcement both perplexing and troubling. To date, there has been no clear or transparent communication to Parliament or the public about who this individual is, what authority they possess, or how the investigative process is being conducted under this new arrangement. While the minister now suggests someone is in place, our understanding is that no such formal appointment had been made until very recently, if at all. What we are witnessing is yet another attempt by this administration to force a square peg into a round hole in order to suit their own political purposes. The ECJ may be receiving complaints, but no one can say with confidence what investigatory framework exists, what standards are being applied, or whether complainants, ourselves included, can expect any resolution. We have submitted evidence, including visual material regarding breaches, and yet nothing has come of it. The lack of clarity, the absence of accountability, and the disregard for due process only serve to erode public trust. Jamaica deserves better when it comes to fairness and oversight in our electoral process. We therefore call on the ECJ to immediately clarify the terms of this engagement of this so-called field officer and to publish details on how members of the public can reliably and confidently engage with this office. Justice and democracy demand.
So I could clearly say on my platform, this is how I believe. Justice Minister Delroy Chuck have been embroiled in corruption the whole time career, especially under Andrew Honest. That's corruption and cover-up and F-free. That's my belief, based on what I see. You understand me? Based on my understanding of what I see, Justice Minister is a corrupt man. And there's nothing coming from females. Just the way the man think about Uno. Him look apology now go work, man.
Last week, while making a contribution at the Joint Select Committee on Sexual Harassment, I made an inappropriate statement regarding the time period for making complaints.
You mean it, you know? You mean it. If you want to do something for victims in Jamaica, make the sexual predator registry list public therein. Stop thinking about sexual predator gonna get double sentence. What is it you're covering up there, right? There, right, Chuck. There, right, Chuck. What is it you're covering up? Are we going to see the Minister of Justice name and the sexual predator registry list? Are we going to see some politician name and the sexual registry list? Who are you covering up for? There, right, Chuck? Some of we no business if me name there on it. If me a predator, put me name there. Me must do, me shouldn't do it. And me must live near parks and schools and anywhere picnic gather. I saw them do it in America. I want to can do it in America, Jamaica too. We want to adapt everything and follow. Everything we want to see America. Even Halloween. Even Halloween, you know. Even Halloween, we see Jamaica adapt down there and celebrate Halloween. But things to do the right, just to do the right thing. We don't want to do it. How many minutes a woman never get nothing from this man? Wagwan. Wagwan family, good morning.
But I know somebody else just call in and give their opinions.
Yes.
But I'm not going to be political, but really and truly I feel that this specific party that is in power represents what is really going wrong in the whole society at large.
Mm-hmm.
They represent degradation and how everything has been decaying with a lot of people mentally in our society.
Mm-hmm.
Because the other day, a girl was violated when a guy was coming to our place of work, a store, and him take up some t-shirts. Yeah, I don't know if you saw that video. Took some sticker, look like something like a gun, sticker up, and take some t-shirts and some stuff from her, acting like he was going to be a customer to buy something. Came to the cash register, then hold her up with a gun, took the shirts and some items of clothing from her. Then told her, instructed her to get up from where she was around the cash register and carry her to the changing room. And it was not far from the cash register. And literally told her to sit on a chair that was in the changing room and made her do things to him orally.
Wow.
This is how Jamaica is, you know. This type of little brute force abuse, you know, like people don't care, you know. It's all about having that power over you, you know, to violate you, you know.
Yes.
And he himself, Delroy Chuck, he literally seems to be representing those kind of people.
Yes,
I'm trying to put it on the line or undermine him, but I'm saying, sir, if he's even hearing or if anybody who represents him hearing, my God, you're literally sounding like one of those violators yourself.
Oh, God. I'm glad you call us a female, you know. I'm glad you call us female. So this is how you wrap it up. This is how you look on it and why you are here this morning.
You sound like a violator yourself. You're literally representing all that is wrong with what is going on in our country. And you're sitting in our parliament looking at us and acting as if you're a judge and jury and you have some level of whatever it is you think you have authority and a self-respect, but you don't have any. And you're going to tell us that you have a daughter, you have a wife. So you hear a lot of people saying that these men over on that side seem to be on the other, batting for the other side of the fence. It's not ignorance. Because you don't seem to care for us. We are the backbones for the society as females. Majority of us having to be taking care of our children. Nobody is there for us. We have to be fighting for ourselves out here on our own.
True.
And sexual violation is a real problem in Jamaica. Females aren't getting any respect that they deserve. Many of us are going through things. Yes, we have partners that will go through things with our partners, but there is just so much things that is up against us as females, if may make sense.
Yes, may make sense.
And we have that's facing that every day. It's like you just being a woman, men hate you for that.
Yep.
They will undermine you for just being a female. They're threatened by your femininity. Something is going on, Carlos, and we have to really look at ourselves. If we don't stand up and realize these people that are supposed to be representing us, we need to change them out.
You don't see it.
We need to get rid of them because we can't have them in there.
You know,
we can't have them in there.
The man said,
on our behalf.
The man say a double punishment if sexual predator list is made public to make the public aware and more safer. Is double punishment for the predator. Oh, I don't want to hurt his feelings. Double punishment, but my daughter, your daughter, you, me, the little kids, them, the boys, them are not protected because a predator can live next door to a school. Him don't think it. Can you imagine the mindset of the man? The same man who say, after 12 months, if you don't report sexual crime, go sit your ass down. Come on, man. Come on, man. Not now come out as a woman. This a woman, no woman supposed to vote for that man. No woman, not even one woman. Not even one woman.
Yeah. No level of emotional intelligence, no care. That sounds like a mental problem.
Justice Minister, that though.
No, but it sounds like a mental problem. Because if you lack empathy and you feel not for somebody, even though you see them suffering, they're uncomfortable. And you yourself is trying to intentionally make every other female even more traumatized just by your statements. Just those statements alone traumatize. It's actually very traumatizing to females. You know? Just saying those things. You know? You're going to tell people, say you can't report a crime after a year.
Think about
so
that.
Somebody do the thing for so long and they're embarrassed because people tend to blame themselves, like internalize things, and they ponder and they punish themselves. I myself, I will admit that sometimes I do have that problem. People will think it's a certain type of weakness, but we try to work it out within ourselves, trying to self-regulate, and it's quite difficult for a lot of us.
I know that.
I will sit there, our victim blame, we sit there, and we blame ourselves as victims, and then when you look at it, the society is blaming the victim again.
Yep.
So everything is stacked against you, and your odds are just stacked against you, and you're sitting with that burden. So when they commit suicide, they kill themselves, people are left without fathers and mothers, and it makes no sense.
Yeah.
There must be a system for victims, for people who really need the support.
I don't see changes. I don't, honestly, sister, I don't see the changes coming out of this government. No. They're not, they don't think. They don't have that mindset. It's not there.
No, you see what we hear, the PMP might say it's a forward ever, backward never business. I hear them coming up with that rhetoric. This government is carrying the country at least almost probably 2 decades backward.
I don't lie, you're telling them. I don't lie. Me and somebody said 3 decades.
We're going backward. We're going back to a time where there's no real intelligence, no real thinking, no critical thought processing going on. We just do things without thinking.
Look, Power Justice Minister, one thing. The man say, if you get punishment already for going to prison for graping, that is enough. Nobody must know. It'll be double sentence. Who think like that? Which man, yeah, Justice Minister, you know? Who think like that? Bro.
It's a child mentality when you have the position and you feel like you have all that power. You feel like you can do and say anything you want. You don't care. It's almost childlike, like Everald Warmington, very childlike. You feel like you're entitled. You know what I mean? You have no sense of control, shame, or pride. Everybody knows what has happened with Everald Warmington and Andre Stevens. That's God bless Andre where he's right now. And what he did to Andre Stevens and his violation. And he's out there every day in our parliament sitting down talking on the country's behalf. The disgrace is quite evident. Same thing with the Prime Minister. There is no respect or shame. Nobody cares. You're just in your position, and because you're in the position of authority, there's nothing going on, just blatant hypocrisy. Just putting on a show, acting as if you're upholding the Constitution and you're going against the very thing that put you there in the first place. The Constitution. This is not a running democracy. I'm just saying that we're just countries running on autopilot. I hear Ralston Hyman saying the country is on autopilot. You don't hear the thing from the Prime Minister or the Minister of Finance herself. She's just quite silent. Things are just happening and nobody's talking about what Donald Trump is doing on the trade wars and how is it going to affect the rest of the population and how are we going to survive and make things work for us as a country. We're not hearing anything. We're just sitting here looking like ducks and we're just wait and what? Every man for himself in this country. Yep. You don't have a government that cares for you. If you go to the hospital, you're not getting proper care. If I probably was sick right now, the way I was sick a year ago right now, I probably would not be getting any real care. This is how it is in Jamaica. It's a sad state of affairs. The country is just running itself. Jamaica is just seen as a cash cow. Let's just get some money out of the country, you know. I mean, the position as Minister of Finance or Minister of Local Government, whoever, whatever position you might have yourself in and you're in control of resources. You just can take whatever you want and who cares?
Let me tell you something, man.
Nobody seems to care. Everybody just comfortable with themselves, cock up in them nice houses, and the rest of the country is just literally suffering.
And me have granddaughter 7 years old, right? Them have sense right now. That means if somebody should molest them right now, them understand. Right? So suppose them not understand at 7 or them at 5, because kids are smarter, right? Suppose make my granddaughter them reach at age of 18 and 15 and start realize what John Brown did to them at the age of 7 or 6. Because as they get older, stuff start to make sense to you and clearer what the predator done to you, right? Because I talk to a lot of females who tell me those things. So that under this, so under what Chuck is saying, that means my granddaughter wouldn't have a chance if them wait till they reach 18 or 20 to report that to somebody or tell somebody. They wouldn't stand a chance. They would never stand a chance under this government. That means they should have shut up after 12 months. You must shut up. So they moved that to 6 years, you know. They move it to 6 years.
There's no transparency. There's no transparency under this government. Everything should be hidden. Even when it is wrong, we must pretend and act as if everything is fine and you're telling lies on the government, even though apparently they're corrupt. It's obvious, but we must just live with it and we just see it. And it's like our brains are not thinking logically and we just must accept what is happening to us. It's literally abuse that, you know, that in itself is abuse, you know. Where you're telling people they can't speak up for their own rights, that in it itself is abuse.
It is.
You're telling a person, shut up, you can't speak, you're idiot, you're mad. So, because I'm speaking about what apparently did happen to me and I'm feeling it emotionally and I'm trying to work it out and I'm uncomfortable with what has happened and it is bothering me, but I can't express it. So I should suppress the real feelings, the truth and the honesty of what has happened. I don't sit there with it like I'm some animal or whatever, and because I can't speak up for, I'm not supposed to speak up for myself. I just sit there with it and suffer. You can't live like that. That's not natural, normal living. People have the right to express what they have been through and what they have seen and what hurts them. That's why you have proper mental health. When people express things and even like your platform, they have a place where they can talk, they have a refuge. You can sit down and watch something and share ideas with like-minded people. A healthy society.
That's true.
Where is the nice little refuge for people who are going through things? Look how many people are going through things in Jamaica. People can't afford to buy food. People are suffering. It's hard to survive in this country. I have kids. Mothers who have children and they're on their own. Where is the support system for them? There's nothing. Simple things like that. We need help. But on top of it too, Carlos, we as a country, we as citizens tend to fight and hate against each other. And we're not going to speak on something unless we experience it ourselves. This is how it is now. We tend to hate and fight against the truth. We don't want no truth and honesty and no light. We love darkness and evil and things must just run as though it is, and you know how much destruction it causes. Who cares? We have children at school right now. Me I hear the pity them in them class because I'm right beside a school. And I'm hearing the children, and many days I sit here and I hear them, and I hear the teachers, the poor teachers, them they are suffer, them have to do so much, them have to parent children who's not theirs, and have to deal with issues and personalities. That, you know, sometimes it's kind of overwhelming for them, but they have to be dealing with it and shepherding these children. Not even teachers, them I get respect. Just to get some $10,000 increment when the last one, they couldn't even get it.
RPA scam them and scam the teacher them and con them, man. Yo,
Teachers deserve respect,
look at
Carlos. When
it's
I
bad.
they deserve the respect, they deserve it. But it's like nothing to give people their proper I don't know what to say, even just the proper, just their rights and the proper respect that they deserve. They don't want to give us. They must just get all of the honor and respect. This is the Prime Minister. What did he get? A Doctor of Law degree yesterday? Is that what the news was reporting? He got another degree. Now he has a law degree. I don't know how he get that. But this is the Prime Minister. You see, this Prime Minister is looking like somebody who is intelligent and educated to
Look
you.
here, man. Look here. And they done this man with no degree, boy. So, but the Vegas done string and go like him have education. So they want to for one boss. Look here. It's a slapping at the face to people who have doctorate. I know people have doctorate and nobody with doctorate talk like that. Nobody with doctorate speak like that. None.
In Malahoo Fort, she studied at Oxford University.
Yep.
My God, man, many of them seem to have all these accolades, and we don't see how it is benefiting us. They're not using it for
Not
our
true.
benefit, they're using it for theirs.
No.
So what we are learning, my code did bash Portia and said Portia never have no doctor to her name, and she was nobody. She cared more for people than anybody else. More than them.
Look, the whole of that thing was that the whole of doctorate are fake. He could make Dr. Nigel Clark keeping doctorate. Nigel Clark went to school for his. Him speak like it. Me know people got a school for them, you know. Them talk like it. Them carry themselves like it. Dr. Francis have him doctorate. He speak like it. He carry himself like it. We're not stupid boy, you know. Think we're stupid. Such man be like, hold on, people. This man sound like him have no doctorate. Just listen, good people. Listen good. If that man sound like he have no doctorate.
I hear man talk all kind of lie. Oh, 20 million and 28 million. Lie. Me not take no salary increase. So my salary is what it was before. And I tell you something, I feel like just keep back to. Because he's a proud man, you know. Me not like people tell lie for me. Tell them the truth. Sometimes the truth hurt. Sometimes the truth is an offense. But God see I know me now sin upon the people of Jamaica. We have sinned against the people of Jamaica. We have sinned against our fellow man.
And you find out that your CEO on the job is operating 28 bank accounts.
28 bank accounts, so much business, and you have time for go sit down and take doctorate. You go tell that to some dummy, not on this platform. Sister, burn your last word there.
Well, we need this, like, with the country is being stifled. There's no growth in almost every aspect of our daily lives. It's like they just have a foot on your neck and just lock off your air supply. We're not growing. It's like them just want, we're stuck like chimpanzees or gorillas, like animals, and we just must stay in our little conditioned state, and whatever they say must go, and if they say something is the truth, that is the truth, and we must believe them. Like we're slaves. And we don't have a brain for ourselves, and we're not thinking. They don't care for us. And if Jamaican people don't feel that and don't see that for themselves, or whatever do. Whatever do decide, say, boy, we can't manage the country now, we'll pack up and left. Can't manage it. They go sell. Since the conditions of the country is like this, and we can't manage it. So we just do a mass migration, brain drain and kill we. No real, the professionals that would be here that have been trained, them take themselves away and go out somewhere else. No real growth. Nothing is here. It's just a plot of land, just nice prime real estate to the government can sell out to the Chinese or anybody else. And them I do try to run out the real Jamaican, and we as Jamaicans, so they can take over the land spaces for themselves.
Hey, and we as Jamaica already are fine. We better start look within, you know, because me I tell you upon my platform long time, you know. That's why many of Jamaican call us. And when people talk about Carlos, talk about in America, me say, look, focus on Jamaica. I'm going to do a video later on. I'm going to educate some of you guys and make you guys be aware of what's going on. And when me ball about, guys, make we focus on Jamaica. Guys, don't sell the land in Jamaica. Don't sell your house. Remember me tell you, don't sell the land. Don't sell the house. May I repeat again. Don't sell the land. Don't sell the house. No make nothing in Jamaica make you have to do that. Remember me I tell you that this morning. Sister, thank you for watching and giving your talk in this and always coming out with some fire, you know. As a female, I give me a perspective. Yeah? And dead right, Chuck. But sorry you have to feel that way, but hey, if you not tell me how you feel, no know. So thank you for calling and let me know what I go on, sister.
Thank you, Carlos, for being there, the voice for us, and we have a platform to express ourselves. Thank you.
Yes, man. Loud and clear. The people might hear you. Every time you come at them, I hear you. Respect, sister.
Thank you, sir.
People hear them. The daughter say she don't feel safe based on how the right Chuck roll. The man say sexual predator would have get an extra sentence if the sexual registry list should have made public. Everything the man do in a parliament, it seems as if I protect predators. Predators must love a justice minister like this.
They're really at opposite end. The woman who wants to be secure and the man who wants to be adventurous, you know, and to take advantage of a woman. So it is a difficult relationship.
Yeah, man, the justice minister. This is the justice minister, man.
Just my point in the sense that I don't think we can put a time frame on, and we could be re-victimizing the person all over again.
We're 30 years later.
Yes.
You talk about I was arrested in the elevator.
Yes.
No. If you don't complain within 12 months, please, you know, cut it off.
Justice Minister Delroy Chuck gave a scenario to explain the need for a time limit.
But look at Mr. Chuck. When he used to teach him, he used to make pass at me. I wouldn't even remember.
Yeah, but
if I did.
Yeah, but Minister Chuck, that is the person's accusation. If they had a record, of that,
years ago.
Yeah, but if they had a record of it or is able to provide evidence. But this is just my point in the sense that I don't think we can put a time frame on, and we could be re-victimizing the person all over again.
So you hear that? I mean, that's how all females feel right now after listening to this man. Me play the clip for you guys where you hear the man I say, boy, once a man serve him time in a prison and he come back out, you know, basically, him no want your name to go out there. I re-victimize, you are not re-victimize, you are re-punish, you punish him a double sentence that to have a sexual predator name on the list be made public. If you put it public, him say a double sentence you give them. So Mr. Chuck seems as if he's an advocate for predators in Jamaica. And if I'm a predator, I would love a justice minister like this. Trust me. Because his advocacy or his time in parliament is not to punish me, but to punish the victim. Keep me quiet. Hide me. Do you understand me, people? That's why sexual predators in Jamaica strive under the money, under this government. Anyway, people, thank you for watching this video. Thank you, people. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you. Each and every one, thank you for your comment in the comment section. Thanks for the sister who called and Bonafire. Yeah, people, thank you, thank you, thank you. So now we understand a little bit more about this brother named Delroy Chuck. And I think he should resign. I think a full time Mr. Chuck step down. I really believe the time come for him. I truly believe that way. When I work by any job, when I reach a certain age, you step down. But when it comes to politics, when you retire from one job, you go right into politics and you stay there until you're dead, don't it? No, people. The whole thing is corrupt in Jamaica. It's coming from the top. It's come from such man, and such man is using everybody and making everybody corrupt. So don't believe for a minute a justice minister alone I do this. No, one don't work with the other, but it's a corrupt bunch you're looking at. And predators, if I was a predator, I would love Mr. Chuck. Thank you guys for watching this video as usual. I am a student in the class. Please make sure your comments make sense in every sentence. If it's the first time on this platform, I like the work. People go ahead and subscribe and let this platform be a home. My name is Jamaican Carlos. I'm out.
We have to speak the truth. Them have to kill me dead. All when me dead, them can't kill me said. No, we have to speak the truth. Them have to kill me dead. All when me dead. Whoa. I'm from the beautiful land of Jamaica, land of sunshine and the best reggae maker. From me was a little boy from dollar a paper. Here corruption a poor people paper. Them creating killer, thief and raper. Youth graduate from college done hotel waiter. Politician them matter but them we get better later. Only man and prophet are the undertaker. The truth, but want to kill me dead. And when me dead them can't kill when me said. Now we have to speak the truth. Them have to kill me dead. And when me dead, them can't kill when me said now. Whoa, things out of hand in a all kind of manner. Motor vehicle examiner are the biggest scammer. Them scam me nephew, me niece and me mama. Wonder when the government a go put down the hammer. Police respect your uniform, the oath on the way honor. No in a rum bar and a drink till the stomach. Embarrassment to the force with no vulgar grammar. Jump in a yoke, almost kill nana. Office speak the truth, no one fi kill me dead. And when me dead, them can't kill when me said. Now we have to speak the truth. No one fi kill me dead. No one when me dead, them can't kill when me said. Now, well, this a topic when me want to get wild and why so much pretty fall they pan me island. A Jamaica me at a bone, no one no Thailand. Big man dead, they want to take a little picking in island. Pity for the stop, government figure off at them. Look on the size and left me look at that of them. Bring them in a jailhouse, make the judge slaughter them in a prison. When they feel the rat again, I'll be speak the truth. Them have to kill me dead. And when me dead, them can't kill when me said. Now me have to speak the truth. Them have to kill me dead. And when me dead, them can't kill when me said. Now politician, for your time now, open your ears hole. The citizen in charge of the seat that you hold when election done. You remember a soul, not even go fix to patrol. Can't meet with basic needs, then what is your role? The youth they want better road and light palm pole. Youth they want job and money in a bill full. Politician me say make no so cold. So we have to speak the truth. Them have to kill we dead. And when me dead, them can't kill when me said. Now we have to speak the truth. Them have to kill me. Jamaican Carlos, they here. Okay.